the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, I'm Ernie Johnson, and trick-or-treating door-to-door with me tonight are Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Happy Halloween, everybody. It's very
Trick-or-treat, give me something good to eat.
And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Washington, where the Wizards will be going up against the New York Knicks. For the Knicks, after splitting their first 2 games of the season, tonight's game gives them a chance to get their record over the 500 mark and maybe get a little momentum on their side. And the ghouls and goblins are out as we're hosting here on Halloween night. Oh, that is very scary, Shaq. I see you decided not to dress for the occasion.
Well, when you're 7 feet and as sexy as I am, you don't need a costume. Plus, I took my kids trick-or-treating before I came here. Ernie, father duties.
Wow. I just remember the worst trick that I ever got in the bag.
Trick in the bag?
Trick-or-treat. Yeah, it was the worst
trick in the bag.
The worst trick in the bag I've ever got. I opened up the candy thinking it was going to be filled with all kinds of great things. I opened it up and worms were inside.
Oh, that's horrible. That's a horrible story.
That's awesome.
That's a terrible story.
It was horrible.
It's a very sad story.
It was hard. It was a trick in the bag.
What was your best costume?
My best costume probably when I was an adult. I came, me and my wife, Run DMC.
Oh.
I was Run. No, I was DMC. She was Run.
Yeah. How about you, Shaq? You never dress up for...
He's dressed for Halloween right now.
I'll give you a hint, Ernie. Oh.
What's that?
Chewbacca.
Oh. I didn't know that was Chewbacca's sound.
Oh.
I'm going trick-or-treating again this year as Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
Nice.
That'll do it for now. Thanks for tuning in. I don't need a costume.
You mean Ryan Giesling?
We're wearing our costumes. We hope you are too. Happy Halloween as 2K Sports presents the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Battle in the Eastern Conference, this D.C. crowd hoping to watch their Wizards come out on top. This, their first look at this year's New York squad. Last year was a lopsided affair as they were able to take all 4 games in the series, earning the sweep.
And while they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the 2 teams.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, one is a playoff team. The other, question mark, ... not so much. But things change, and you're only as good as your last win, so we'll see how they handle things tonight.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Calderon is out there with a Flalo. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then it's Anthony. And it's Porzingis in at the 4-man position. Morris with the bucket.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
And so it's New York with it. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, the inability to make threes in that game, because they took a lot of them, I think, is why they ended up on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, they did take a bunch of them. Sometimes you can make up for poor three-point shooting with a strong inside game, but their inside game just wasn't strong enough.
On defense, New York. And Sessions kicks to Beal. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. The Knicks pull it in.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Calderon passes to a Flalo. Anthony sets the pick for a Flalo. The shake. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
You know, watching Aaron Aflalo, incredible form on his jumper, excellent mid-range shooter who's made himself into one of the league's better three-point shooters, too.
And talking about Aflalo's impeccable shooting form, Greg, he can do it so efficiently in several seasons. He has been over 40% beyond the arc.
And also a terrific free throw shooter to go along with that. But it's his high percentages from mid-range that are really impressive. Hey, former NBA Shooting Stars champion.
Right.
Does that mean anything? Probably not.
Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Lopez with the block. They recover it. Dudley's shot is good. Here is Calderon. And there's the pass to Anthony. He kicks to Lopez. Anthony sets the pick for Lopez. Gortat with the defensive effort.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
Calderon against Sessions. Anthony left side. Stolen by Dudley. It's Beal on the wing. 18 feet out. No good. Excellent D there from Aflalo. The Knicks leading by 5. And it's Anthony with the jam.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Now here's Sessions. He had 10 points in the win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Morris, no good.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Anthony kicks to Lopez. New York moving the ball around. Aflalo, no good. Wizards have gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%. Last season at both sides of the coin for the Wizards started out very hot, but then just could not keep it going.
Well, you know, the start was extremely hot. 19-6, which tied a franchise best, that record. After that, though, they played close to 500 ball the rest of the time.
Here is Calderon, following the three-pointer by Washington. Lopez dishes to Carmelo, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Anthony's got 6.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
The Knicks leading by 4. Aflalo outside. Gortat against Lopez. Aflalo goes in. Outside Anthony, just 5 on the clock. Passes to Porzingis. A three-pointer off the mark. Wizards have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Beal the pass to Gortat. Lopez with the block. And Aflalo kicks to Anthony. That's his 4th basket of the game, and he's only taken 4 shots. Off to a good start. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Knicks.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Nene, he's checked in for Gortat. Hickson comes in for Morris. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Jared Dudley. And Gary Neal subbed in for Bradley Beal. We've got 1:13 left here in the first quarter. Porter against Thomas. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way.
And checking out some numbers for Sessions, how he did last season. Last season, he averaged 6 points a game, 3 assists and 2 rebounds. And he's very steady with that second unit, running the offense and getting them into their sets.
Right. I mean, your backup point guard simply has to hold the fort, maintain the status quo, share the basketball, and minimize mistakes.
Now here's Williams. Inside. Shot clock at 5. Quinn dishes to Williams. Here's Galloway. Misses the 3.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Here's Neal, stolen by Grant, and Williams with the clear path to the hoop throws down the breakaway jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Here's Neal, and it's blocked by O'Quinn. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Knicks out front. They're up by 8. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And a chance now to hear from the Brazilian big man Nene about the development of this Wizards team.
Changed our style, the way we think about basketball. You know, we start playing together, and our talent too. You know, we're very capable, very talented to do a special thing, and that's the right direction.
With Nene in the mix, that team is indeed capable and talented and can do some very special things.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's in a supporting role, and when he steps up in a big way, he gives them an X factor.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And what stands out to you from New York in this one?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
And it's time for an injury report. And now we'll send it over to Doris Burke for an update on Arron Afflalo. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, New York's head athletic trainer gave me an update. He told me that it doesn't look too serious. A discouraging development for this team so early in the season. We'll see what kind of impact it has on them in the long term, guys.
Thank you, Doris, for the update. We appreciate it, and we really hope for the best as always.
And he's a tough guy. My guess is he'll be back before we know it, and better than ever.
Greg, I sure hope you're right. I mean, there are just so many uncertainties when it comes to dealing with injuries, though. Let's hope for the best.
We've got Otto Porter Jr. Nene is out there with Hickson. Then it's Gary Neal. And it's Temple in at the shooting guard position. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Wizards. And the Wizards making a change here. Morris is checked in. And he sinks the second. Last season ended with the Knicks pretty much packing it in, but Clark, it didn't start out that way.
You know what? Not at all. I mean, the Knicks were picked by many, Kevin, to be a playoff team last season. Clearly, things did not go as planned. That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Here's Neal. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Nene the pass to Temple. Nene the screen. Temple gets the bucket.
And it became clear, thinking about the Knicks again, I mean, it made sense for a team with injuries and being in disarray on the floor to just battle for that lottery.
And so it's New York with it. Galloway kicks to Anthony. Dishes it to Calderon. New York moving it around. On the wing, Williams. It's stolen by Morris. Here's Neal. Step back shot. Rebounded by Anthony.
You know, kind of packing it in for the sake of being better in the future can possibly work in New York for a year or two, but not longer than that. The media will eat you up there if you don't start making some progress towards winning, pleasing basketball.
Here's Morris. The Knicks making the shot, and slam dunk by Nene.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, you know, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Gortat's checked in for Nene. Then for the Knicks, Lopez, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Porzingis comes in for Williams. And it's Afflalo in for Langston Galloway. Now here's Calderon. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Here's Lopez, and the layup falls. Lopez has got the lead up to 9 now for the Knicks.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor with their offense in the paint because that has not been up to par.
Anthony kicks to Aflalo, pushing their lead to double digits. And now it's an 11-point Knicks lead.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
One thing about Jose Calderon, you could see the frustration in him last season, playing a career-low 42 games, and his averages were down pretty much, Greg, across the board.
Yeah, and Kevin, he was brought in to kind of invigorate the Knicks' point guard position, but following a preseason calf injury, you know, he missed the team's first 13 games and never was able to really get going. Remember, coming into a new system where he had to learn how to play differently, and then after all that, you know, you have to shut him down because of that left Achilles.
To the wing right side, and the wide open shot from Morris bangs home the trifecta. Morris has got 5 points so far.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Pass to Porzingis. Back to Calderon. On its way from Aflalo for 2. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, you hate to give up a foul on a three-point attempt.
Yeah, unnecessary. I mean, make them earn those points from deep. Don't give them to them free at the line.
For New York, they have shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight.
And their numbers from the line last season, they're good, just not great, about 77% as a team.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for them. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Markieff Morris. Dudley comes in for Porter. Bradley Beal's checked in for Garrett Temple. And Sessions subbed in for Gary Neal. Well, nobody really knew, Greg, what to make of Washington going into last year's playoffs. They came out strong with a big sweep against a pretty good Raptors team.
Yeah, how about taking them down 4 straight? And it was the first time a team has swept an opponent without home court advantage since 2011. Also was the first sweep for the Wizards in franchise history.
And in the second round, the Wizards continued to be a tough opponent. I mean, they went up 2-1 on the Hawks, but were unable to keep the series lead. A lot of close, heartbreaking losses for them in that series. You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories, rebounds just being one of them.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
And the Hawks would ultimately take down the Wizards last year in the postseason. John Wall and his injury were a big turning point in that matchup, and all those buzzer beaters for both teams made it one of the most interesting series of the postseason.
The Wizards shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. And just as J.J. Hickson seemed to be finding some rhythm in his career, Clark, last season happened. His production dropped like a rock.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, after 2 straight years where he was starting, last season he was asked to come off the bench. And for J.J. Hickson, that just did not seem to be a good fit.
Here's Thomas. Gord's out with the rebound. Wizards trail by 10. Here's Beal. Got a piece of it. To Aflalo from deep 3-point range. New York, no good that time either.
And getting back to J.J. Hickson, he's forever had the size and strength to get it done. His problems have always been that lack of discipline and an unrefined set of tools. I mean, unfortunately, last season highlighted those flaws.
Thomas, and that one is hammered home.
how about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Washington calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
New York leading by 10.
Talking about Hickson, every time you count him out, he surprises you with a streak of inspired play. Then every time you count him back in, he puts up a dud. Hard guy to figure out right now.
Now, here's O'Quinn. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one, and it's good.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Here's Sessions. Kicks it to Dudley. Williams against Hickson. Now here's Sessions. Defense is right there. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there. Earned those free throws.
Washington shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And the first one at the line is good. No good on the second free throw.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that aggressiveness correlates with playing better. So the aggressiveness is starting to pay off.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And so we wrap up the first half. Knicks lead by 13. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Carmelo, what has been the focus for this team during the first half of play?
Well, we're doing it on both ends of the court. We're bucking down on the defensive end. We're sharing the ball offensively, making good plays, you know, cherishing every possession counts, and we're doing that the first half.
Nice to see it come together on both sides of the ball, Melo. Thanks for the time. Gentlemen?
All right, Doris, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. New York holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They have a 13-point lead. Your opinion, Shaq?
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it. It prevented anyone from getting lazy out there. They're always moving, cutting, knowing where they need to pass the ball, Ernie.
Kenny, what's your take on Washington so far?
Well, they're losing the battle on the boards. And when you're struggling to stay in the game, a few extra rebounds either way can make the difference. Because rebounds equal possessions, and possessions can equal extra points. They need to come out in the second half with the mindset that every rebound is theirs.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. We've seen Aaron Aflalo really having a great game.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
Setting the floor for the Knicks. Anthony is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Calderon. Then there's Aflalo. And it's Lopez in at the center position. That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut down now to just 11 on the basket from Beal.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
And the thing, Greg, about Marcin Gortat, he's not a high flyer. He's not a super flexible athlete. But he's one of the best centers in the league because he's tough. And he's worked hard on developing his skills. And he always hustles.
Yeah, and he fights for position down low. A terrific screener, does a lot of that dirty work. And he's also very good at passing the basketball. You know, a lot more skilled, particularly in the pick and roll, than maybe people give him credit for. He can hurt a defense in a surprising number of ways.
Wizards trail by 11. Little over a minute gone here in the second half. It's deflected.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
Beal dishes to Sessions. The feed to Dudley. There's the pass to Morris. They set the pick. Second chance shot, and it's sent back by Lopez. Out of bounds. Wizards ball as Washington keeps possession. For the Wizards, Porter comes in for Jared Dudley. And Gary Neal subbed in for Beal. Well, nobody said, Greg, being in the NBA was for the faint of heart. The Knicks in a few short years have gone from a playoff team, unfortunately, to the worst team in the NBA.
Hard to fathom, Kevin, that the Knicks did enter last season with playoff aspirations, but that quickly vanished. They were just completely overmatched and overwhelmed.
Here's Neal. He's guarded by Aflalo. Porter passes to Sessions. Morris a screen. Puts it up from 15. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
You know, the Knicks made the playoffs every season between 1988 and 2001. It's kind of strange now to see the Knicks struggle to get into the playoffs so often. Only 3 trips in the playoffs the last 10 seasons.
The Knicks leading by 12.
And listen, the pressure is always on the Knicks to make the playoffs just because of where the team is. Being in New York can have its advantages, but it comes with expectations that your team will be in the postseason. Hard to believe this, but Carmelo feels as if he's been underrated as a superstar to this point in his career, and I'm sure there are a lot of conflicting opinions on that topic.
For Carmelo, the numbers are there for him to be treated as a Tier 1 star still, I think, Clark, but it's hard to call him underrated.
Yeah, I think he'll be underrated until he's able to get to the championship round or maybe even win a ring. There's one thing that's clear, though. He's been under a lot of pressure since he's come into the league, and he hasn't been underrated in that regard.
Both free throws good from Anthony. Well, last season, the Wizards fell off just a bit in the second half of the year. Still, Greg, very competitive at home.
Yeah, and their strong play at home helped them weather that storm, Kevin. I mean, they ended up going 29-12 here at the Verizon Center.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Calderon kicks to Aflalo. Three-pointer. Rebound, Washington.
And, you know, that 29 wins mark at home for the Wizards, 3rd best in the East. That team really likes shooting the ball here, as they were a top 5 three-point percentage team in this building. It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Morris, no good.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities. And really the driving factor for why Washington was so good at home was their defense. I mean, they would finish with the best field goal percentage against in the entire league in their home building. You don't think of the Wizards as a lockdown team, but in the Verizon Center, that's exactly what they were.
Afflalo. That one falls coming off Anthony's feed. Anthony's got 3 assists tonight.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Intercepted. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court. Afflalo, no good.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Sessions dishes to Gortat. Knicks with the rebound. Lopez has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And Afflalo kicks to Calderon. Neal pulls it in.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
A 3 from Morris. Knicks with the rebound. Lopez has got his 5th rebound in this one. And now the Knicks on the break. Calderon, no good.
Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Yeah, at this level, you got to make that shot. It's plain and simple. You got to knock that one down.
Here's Neal. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Again, the miss by Morris.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Now here's Afflalo. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. Porzingis passes to Calderon. Some nice passing by New York here. Offensive rebound. Goes up again, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, how about the body control on that one? Narrowly misses getting the deuce.
Boy, he had a nice look at it after drawing the foul. Boy, it would have been nice to get an and one there.
For New York, they have been good at the free throw line in this one, 7 of 8. First one falls for him. And Washington going with a whole new group here. And a new group in for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Lance Thomas comes in for Anthony. Langston Galloway's checked in for Aaron Afflalo. And it's Grant in for Jose Calderon. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Yeah, they've not missed a single foul shot this half, and that's taking care of business, fellas.
Beal's shot is good.
How nice was that? Bradley Beal, I tell you, textbook shooting form, that thing is on fire.
Grant dishes to Thomas. Pass to Porzingis. That's tipped. Thomas passes to Porzingis, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Knicks lead by 18.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Williams, he's checked in for New York. Washington shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. Nene, no good on the free throw.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboards.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
And here is Grant. Temple. Got it! Got it! What a shot!
Free points at the buzzer.
Definitely an answer to prayer there.
Check it out.
And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Looking at Washington, they took the win in their last game out against the Bucks in Milwaukee. They've got Hickson. Bradley Beal is out there with Garrett Temple. Then there's Nene. And it's Dudley in at the 3 slot. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington.
And we've all seen how dominant Bradley Beal can be, the 3rd overall pick in the 2012 draft. He's already had a solid young career, but still plenty of room to grow.
Talking about Bradley Beal's potential, it's not just the shooting, it's also the passing, and you really don't think of him as a passer, but for such a young two-guard, he's extremely unselfish, averaged over 3 assists a game over the past 2 years.
And the true stars of our game feature versatility. And here's a guy that has also tremendous upside as a rebounder. I mean, how about getting 7 boards almost a game the 1 year he was in college? So he understands the importance of impacting other areas. I mean, last season he had his highest steals average of his career, and everything's upside with this young man. The sky's the limit.
Excellent point. Aflalo with it. The dish now to Thomas. Back to Aflalo. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. And that's 13 points for Aaron Aflalo.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
Yeah, it's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Knicks.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Hickson. And Washington making a change here. Sessions is checked in. Carmelo Anthony's checked in for New York. And Hickson drops them both. New York leading by 12. Outside Anthony. Feeds it to O'Quinn. They set the pick. Here's Williams. And again, it's New York.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Now here's Sessions. Here's Hickson, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Williams.
At the line for your Wizards, J.J. Hickson. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for the Wizards. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Porzingis is checked in. So he comes up empty at the line. The Knicks leading by 14. Here's Galloway. He feeds it to Aflalo. Here's Porzingis. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line to try to make it a 3-point play.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
Gortat's checked in for the Wizards. Morris comes in for J.J. Hickson.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future.
Robin Lopez is checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. A little over a minute and a half of the 4th quarter gone now. Here's Morris. Aflalo pulls it in. Aflalo's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
And Robin Lopez, last season, he missed about 6 weeks with that broken hand, but freak injuries aside, he's been pretty durable over the course of his career. Had played in all 82 games the previous 2 seasons.
Robin Lopez, 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. He hits the second from the line. Here is Sessions. Morris outside. Here's Gortat using his post move to get the 2 points. And Robin Lopez signing a new contract this offseason. He had been significantly underpaid for his production over the last 2 seasons.
And Kevin, you knew he was due for a raise. 7-footers who impact the game at both ends the way he does are really valuable.
Here's Lopez after marching Gortat's bucket. Galloway the pass to Porzingis, and he gets it to go. Porzingis has got 5 points now this quarter.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
And until the defense puts up a little more resistance, they ought to continue to pound them down low.
Now here's Beal. That is good.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
And the thing about Bradley Beal, when he suits up, the entire lineup becomes exponentially more potent. A quick, powerful athlete, Greg, high basketball IQ, had the great teaching at Florida, carries it to the NBA. Opponents have to account for him, I think, on both ends of the floor.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, coming out of college, a lot of people compared him to Ray Allen. I mean, he possesses that next level smoothness and body control that's often indicative of a true difference maker.
Lopez, that's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got his 4th assist in this one.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint. And, going back to Bradley Beal, the bottom line is he's a winner. Last year, the Wizards went 8-9 with Beal out of the lineup. Hard to argue with those facts and numbers.
Now, here's Calderon. Pass to Porzingis. He dishes it to Carmelo. 6 to shoot. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
And when you talk about Bradley Beal, it's not just having him in the lineup that matters. It's having him at his best. When he's at 100% health, there are very few guards in the league who can keep up with him. Truly one of the game's great young talents.
Jared Dudley's checked in for Porter.
And one priority for the commissioner this year was how the schedule worked. There were complaints about too many back-to-back games, and it was something everybody wanted to improve upon.
Took the opportunity when he saw it. That's 10 points here for Beal.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
1:51 left here in the 4th quarter. Now here's Sessions. A fast break opportunity here. Beal can't get it to go. Greg, as you said, the NBA schedule was something that needed change. Players were getting worn out with all the back-to-back games, Clark. It's you've been through it and you know firsthand.
And it's not just the back-to-back games, Kevin. It's the 4 games in 5 nights or the 7 in 10 days. The league office knows the NBA is at their best when teams are rested. And kudos to the league for doing something about it.
And here's Sessions. Jose Calderon getting his 3 to go. tries to save it. And so it looks like the Wizards will retain possession here.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Knicks.
Clark, looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
Yeah, but they did a better job tonight. They made the most of the extra rebounds, too.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
Greg, I don't think it'll play out quite that simply, though. The team coming out on the losing end of game 1 is just that much more motivated to get even in game 2 and 3. So I think the edge goes to the losing team.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Carmelo Anthony. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got. And really, if this had come just a little earlier, they may have been able to get back into the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. They needed this a lot sooner than they got it.
Now here's Williams. He kicks to Grant. Shot clock at 5. Williams dishes to Thomas. Shoots from 14, and that one hits back iron. Here's Washington now. 15-point game. Here's Temple. Dishes to Dudley. Off target from 3-point range. So no problem for New York as they get the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Carmelo Anthony. He started the game with a great shooting touch, making his first 4 shots.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
This is what you love to see out your star players. He's the guy you rely on to give a team a win. Both ends of the floor, shouldering the scoring load. He was a joy to watch tonight, Ernie.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.